Well, greetings gamers. This is Dr. Ayleen, the Gaming Doc, and this is your place and your space to take a breath, to take a moment, to laugh, to chat, to chill, and to say out loud and from the bottom of our hearts, thank God it's Friday. So, and we have right out of the gate, JJ the Bunny. Welcome, JJ, an awesome moderator and all-around good egg, as well as AKA Hugs Bunny, AKA Punny Bunny, AKA Funny Bunny, AKA Techie Bunny, AKA the Jackalope Evil Alter Ego, and just my good friend, JJ, how are you? And as inquiring minds want to know, what's for lunch today? I hope that everything's going well. I hope your Friday is starting out awesome. So, yay, JJ! Alrighty, so, welcome to Focus Friday. And the question is, what are you focused on? What is it that is weighing on your mind, your body, your spirit, or your heart? And what it is that we can do to turn that around into something that is focusing on what is going to serve you. Not too bad today. Been buzzy and not been great the last few. Oh, just a sandwich and chips. Oh, I miss a sandwich and chips. For those of you who don't know, I'm working on getting healthier, and so I'm doing kind of a keto exploration. So far, it's actually been working real well. I do feel better, but I do so miss my chips. Oh my gosh, please, JJ, enjoy the chips for me. Send me those waves of chip, totally starchy, potatoey goodness and connect, because, JJ and I are connected. So it's like, feeling the joy of crunching on chips. But will do. See, JJ always has your back. But yes. We often need to think about, and being someone who is working on a healthier lifestyle, it is difficult not to focus on what it is I don't get to eat as opposed to what I do. Now, technically, technically, everything is choice. Technically, there's nothing I can't eat, but it goes into the should I? And if it's something that I probably shouldn't, there is that tendency to focus on it. There is that tendency to go, oh, but that one thing, I can have all these other things, but that one thing that I want that I can't have. And the question becomes, is that the best use for our focus? And it's funny because, the older you get, and I'm old, the more you really have to work on focusing on things. One, I have a tendency to go off on tangents. It's like something will happen or someone will come in and I'll go off on a tangent. B, I will sometimes forget where I started, so I've got to loop my way back around. So, and yes, I did 1 and B on purpose. Joke. So the idea is that sometimes our focus, and we've talked about this before, where sometimes focus can be an excellent thing. Everything has light and shadow. So being able to focus and narrow in and just go for that one thing, that is amazing. It's awesome. It's wonderful. And when we get so focused in on one thing, we tend to start missing stuff. When an opinion is so focused on, nope, this is my opinion, this is what, what I feel, this is what I believe. When we get so locked into that, then when we get new information, sometimes it's hard to, crack that opinion open a little bit more and go, oh, well, now that I have new information I didn't have, maybe I might change my opinion just a little bit. Or maybe I need to broaden my definition of something. So focus can be, it's a double-edged sword. It can either work for us or it can kind of hinder things. And now, today we're going to talk about not so much how intently we focus, but that's just the general idea of, is where we're putting our focus the place it needs to be? And it is a question of, and hot beverage of the day. This is different. This is interesting. Okay, so you know that I've done bulletproof coffee, which is where you take butter and put it into black coffee. And, you know, I mean, it actually doesn't taste bad. It's sort of an acquired taste. It's not a taste that everybody goes for because there's almost that added texture to it, because you get that that kind of buttery feel. But to me, I mean, the first time I tried it, it was like, I don't know. The second time, it's like, maybe. And the third time, it's like, you know what? I like this. So sometimes you got to give things a few sips and a few tries. Now, taking the theory, well, bulletproof coffee or butter tastes really good in coffee. Let's try it with something else. It's like, wow, I do like butter. Butter is keto. It's like, so what else can I put butter in? So this morning we are trying Irish tea, or Irish breakfast tea. And the door magically opens and Luna is in the house. She's back there somewhere. So it's like, this is decaffeinated Irish breakfast tea, bulletproofed. So we're gonna give it a shot. I haven't tried it yet, so you know we're gonna be here and we're gonna give this a shot. Interesting. All right, let's see. Okay. We're going to try a few more sips. It's almost starting off the same way that bulletproof coffee did for me. It's like, I don't know. But sometimes after you take a couple of sips, not so bad. Not as good as coffee with it because, you know, I mean, of course there's a different flavor, but it's not bad. And I do like butter. So, you know, it's like, the jury is still out on this one. Anyway, I'm sure we'll know by the end of our time here today. But let's talk about what you're focusing on. And if what you're focusing on really have to wait for the butter to trick your brain into thinking it's good. Yes, and butter is so good at that. See, you know, JJ points these amazing insights out. You know, keep an eye on him in the chat because you never know when he's going to drop some knowledge on us. So, but yeah, you know, it's like, I like butter that much. Therefore, butter with anything is good. Therefore, eventually my brain will tell me that it's a good thing, whether or not it actually is. But, you know, you don't take things too seriously. And, you know, it's sort of like with the Bean Boozled Beans, which, as a reminder, I have one Bean Boozled Bean for every 100 bits. I have 2 Bean Boozled Beans for every follow. I have 3 Bean Boozled Beans for every sub. And I have decided I am going to add that I will eat a Bean Boozled Bean. If I get a raid, I will eat a Bean Boozled Bean for everybody who comes into the raid. So, you know, just to add some fun. It's like, well, I need to do something for raids. I need to do something for, you know, for that situation. So it's like, you know what? For every person who comes in on a raid, I will eat one Bean Boozled Bean. Yesterday, you know, we kind of jumped outside the box because we had some folks coming in, you know, with some pretty heavy stuff that they were dealing with, and that we were talking about it, and I felt it's like, you know what? Let's give everybody a little boost. So I just took a fistful of the beans and ate a whole clump of them, and I swear, I actually, just by taking I think it was 8 beans, everyone was the bad one. Every single one. And I ate them together, and I could tell that every single flavor I got was the bad one. Somebody clipped it, so, you know, it's like, okay, we've got a clip of that. It's there. But, oh my God, that was, you know, mistakes were made. But it was funny. Yes, the little buddy puking the rain. Taste the rainbow. Oh, yeah, we were tasting the rainbow, all right, but it was not the good rainbow. And it got a few people chuckling. Jay Stunzy! Oh, my gosh, folks. Okay, announcement. Where are you? Where are you? Because J Stun Z, my nameless family, who is absolutely okay. That's connected. That's connected. All right, you should be announcing, because there's something that's supposed to come up with the announcement. Anyway, but J Stun Z, my amazing friend, who is an absolutely awesome streamer, who gives my favorite phrase ever, I hate this effing game, and could just be delayed. Well, we'll give it a minute. We'll give it a minute. I mean, maybe it's Friday. It's already thinking about the weekend. But J Stun Z, how are you, folks? Click on to that name immediately, if not sooner, because now Jay's a busy guy, but when he does get to stream, you definitely want to get notified about it. And he also does a wonderful job. He's in, he supports other streamers. He will go into other streams. He'll play games with other people. So you definitely, want to make sure that you keep that kind of on the fence, honestly. Well, you know what? When you're up on the fence, that gives you the best view of both sides. So while you're up there, take a good look around and figure it out. Oh, today I'm having bulletproof decaffeinated Irish breakfast tea. So I've got Irish breakfast tea with butter in it. We're still trying to figure that out. Every time I taste it, it gets a little better. But, yep, tea, coffee, whatever your beverage of choice is, welcome to it. And, sometimes it is, and I'm glad you bring that up, Jay, because it's when you're on the fence, the good side about being on the fence is that you can see both sides. And when you have a chance to take a look, especially if you're struggling with deciding between, this and that, or maybe this, that, and the other, being able to just take a moment and take a look and, and say, okay, what is it that I really want to do? Where does my focus need to be? Because sometimes we can split up focus. Sometimes it works against us. Well, both sides have negatives on them. Well, then at least you see it coming. And, I would figure that both sides have certain positives to it too. So, if you want to chat about that, either we can chat on Discord or something. If you want to talk about that, that'll be totally cool with me, and the thing is, my friend, whatever choice you make, it's going to be the right one. Whatever you decide, you've got some pretty darn good judgment, and you have given a lot of people a lot of really good advice. So that means I think your judgment can definitely be trusted. So whatever it is that you choose, it's going to be the right choice. So just relax with it. It may give you an outcome you had not anticipated, but that doesn't mean that it's the wrong choice. And someone once told me, it's like there's a saying, what would you do if you knew you couldn't get it wrong? What would you do if you knew there was no chance of failing? What would you risk? What would you be willing to try if you knew that it was going to land exactly the way you wanted it to? And it's amazing what people would try and what they would do if they knew that, that they were going to make the right choice. And while we don't know that, there's no way to know that. We can go into something as if we do. I do, but for some reason I don't think there is a right choice. Well, technically, technically, if there isn't a right choice and you're just choosing between the lesser of two evils, that means technically there's no absolute wrong choice. Because the thing is, if those are your only options, if you're looking at, okay, either bad or worse, figuring out which one is the easiest to live with. And if you can, and the thing is, you can make the choice, and then if it doesn't work out, choose something else. It's okay. There's only a few choices that do not allow us to make a different choice or to, switch horses midstream, as the old saying goes. It is, if it's what you've got to work with, you make the best with what you've got to work with. And trust that, well, one way or another, something will work out. And if you try something and it's not working out, then you can say, you know what? That is not for me. So I'm going to try something else. We can always, almost always, try something else. I will tell you that jumping out of a plane, which I have done, there is a very limited opportunity to make a different choice, especially once you've left the plane. Pretty much, your choices are tremendously limited once you roll out of the plane. So other than that, in most other cases, there is always the chance that if one choice isn't working, to make another one. If you order up a dish at a restaurant and you honestly don't like it, you can ask for something else. I mean, that being said, there's a consequence. You can't just ask for something else, say, well, I decided I don't like this, so I want something else. You still have to pay. There is a certain price to be paid for what it is that you chose. And it may be that it moves you back a few steps. It may be that, a complication comes up that now you have to add to what you have to deal with. And you can still make another choice. It is all in the question of, which is the easier price to pay. And as Geddy Lee in the Rush song Free Will said, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So being able to figure that out, and I have absolutely no doubt on this, on God's green earth. See, there's a nameless family thing. So why does the other one not work? It's like the choice of putting butter in decaffeinated Irish breakfast tea. I haven't figured out whether or not this was a good thing. It might have been a good thing. I think it was a good thing. I'm not totally convinced. There's a slight aftertaste that I'm not crazy about. But it passes very quickly. So, I don't know. We'll find out by the end of today. I will find out whether or not that's a good idea. And sometimes it does take time to figure out if something is a good idea. The first response to it, whether it's a good response or a bad response, that may not be the ultimate outcome. It could just be, oh wow, this is uncomfortable, or I'm really not sure about this. Then, after that choice comes the choice of, okay, do I give this some time? And if so, how much time? You see, our lives are one choice right after another. Everything from the moment you open your eyes in the morning, you can choose to either go back to sleep, hit the snooze alarm, get up. Those are like the first choices. Then whatever you choose for that has consequences and has another choice behind it. You choose to hit the snooze alarm. Okay, I think I'll go back to sleep for a while. Well, then it's like, okay, if I go back to sleep for a while, is that going to make me rush trying to get things done later? Or, you know what? I'm going to get up right now. Well, once you get up, what are your choices? Do I choose to go out and go on that run that I usually do? Or do I choose to just kind of putter around? Maybe I'll go turn on the computer or whatever. Gaming with Kentucky and JD! Oh my gosh! Friends, Romans, and countrymen, you must just click onto that name, Gaming with Kentucky and JD, who is an absolute sweetheart of a streamer, who is, almost my age. So, we have a lot of stuff we think in common. We have a lot of similar sayings and similar stories. And he has the most amazing family. Especially his boy Marcus and Tyler. Tyler! Hi! Hello! And Astrid! Oh, see, okay. What is up with this? Because I have had Nameless Family come in, and when Astrael comes in, suddenly the thing works. It's like, okay, so everybody, you need to click on Astrael, and I love that name. I may be mispronouncing it, but I love Astrael. It's just so cool. But you need to click on, because there's obviously something very magical about this person, because the thing worked for him and not for anybody else. So hello, my friends. Yes, I'm 30, just like you. Well, the bot knows he's amazing. That is right. Oh my gosh. Astrael in the house, and suddenly the technology works better. So definitely go who is playing Ark Survival Evolved. That looks like such a cool game, especially when you get to play with dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are so fun. But, so Astrael, how are you, my friend? How are you doing? I hope everything is going great for you. And Flat Wabbit! Oh my goodness! The big Wabbit. But see, two bunnies in the house. Flat Wabbit, JJ the bunny. We are, oh my God, they're breeding like rabbits. We are going to be up to our elbows in rabbits. But it is, oh my God, we have so many amazing folks in this morning. That is so cool. And, it was, I always found diners are better in the nugget variety. Yeah, but you can't put a saddle on one and ride it while it's running or flying. And yesterday, I think it was Bloodshot's stream, and he was on this dinosaur, and it rolled, and that was the coolest thing. Yep. Lol, technology just seems to work better when I'm around, at least for me. That is absolutely true. Flat Wabbit is awesome, but he did push me around last night while I was trying to safely parachute. Okay. As someone who I mentioned a little bit earlier, who has actually rolled out of a perfectly functioning plane out into nothingness, as I was saying before, there's almost no choice that you cannot change except for the one right after you leave the plane. So, in most other cases, we can change our choices. Hey, I helped you score better. See? It was a good thing. And focusing on what it is. I mean, sometimes we get so stuck into the process of making the choice that we have a problem just getting on with choosing. And it is difficult sometimes. And, when we're caught equally between two options, and then we remind ourselves, well, short of jumping out of a plane, any choice you make, you can make another choice, because every choice follows something else. So when we focus not so much on the choice, but on the outcome we want, which decision will bring us to where we want to be, and then we put our focus there. Jumping out of the plane is never dangerous. It's the landing that's a killer. Just be glad it wasn't a rowboat. I had my shot. Oh my gosh. Okay. JD, who is an absolute sweetheart, who is absolutely amazing, and a gentle spirit, turns into somebody a little bit different when he's in a rowboat with a shotgun. I saw that, and it was like, I am seeing a whole new side of JD with someone pushing a rowboat. Who in their right minds would want to jump out of a perfectly good aircraft? Okay, so that right mind thing, the jury is definitely still out regarding me. But it's interesting. It is, you want to talk the ultimate leap of faith? Yeah, you jump out of a plane, that is, you have the feeling of a leap of faith. Any other leap of faith you make after that will not seem to be that big a deal. I do it at least one day a year, 2 to 3 jumps in a day. Wow. The view is so much better on the outside of the plane. Actually, it is. Now, I will tell you, either take some antihistamine or bring earplugs, because the sudden pressure drop, I left the plane at 15,000 feet and the parachute opened at 5,000 feet. So, and I was strapped to a perfectly nice young man. It was a tandem jump. So all I had to do basically was kind of hang there. But there is something about that point, because it's like you see everything, and then there's a certain point when all of a sudden it's like the ground is rushing up at you. You know, for a while it's almost like you're not moving. It's almost like you don't really have a sensation of dropping. And then all of a sudden you're very aware, and I don't know if it's just your perception of gravity kicks in. I'd rather not jump out of the plane where I live. Our biggest income in my county is landfill. Oh, I do not see it from the air. I haul it often to make money. Yes, it is. Yeah, that landing is the trickiest part. But the really cool thing, when I did my jump, we went up above the clouds. It was kind of a rainy day that way. Not horribly rainy, but it was kind of rainy. So we were above the clouds, and then we jump, and then we're in the clouds, and then we're on the other side, and I realized that I was seeing the world the way a raindrop would see the world. And all the raindrops that were around me, that was how they saw the world, which was actually very cool. To suddenly, it's like, I know what a raindrop feels like. And it was actually cool. Mixel! Oh my goodness, we've got Mixelintion in the house. And folks, this is an awesome, amazing young streamer who is German. He's in Germany. So if you ever wanted to learn German, you need to go to Mixel Stream. If you ever want to see a very, very, very cool streamer who, you know, you don't have to understand exactly what he's saying in order to see the absolute enthusiasm that he shows, it's contagious. You sit there and you watch, and it's like watching a movie with no subtitles in another language, and yet you follow along with the excitement. So, oh my God, Mixel, it's so good to see you. All seriousness, it's on my bucket list. I scream running from animals and zombies in a game. No one wants me to fall out of the sky. I would be scared to death before I hit the ground. It is so interesting, and especially, you're streaming now. Okay, so everybody who you can Google multi-Twitch, you can actually watch more than one stream at a time, and it is interesting because it's kind of a side-by-side thing. Go for it, you know. And also anybody who is hanging out, anybody who's listening in, while normally the etiquette is not self-promoting in most streams because there's a lot of people who aren't crazy about it, I like it. I want people to self-promote in my streams. I want to know what you're doing, what you're streaming, you know, if it's your birthday, if it's not your birthday, if you're celebrating an anniversary, if you've finally beaten Dark Souls, if whatever it is that you are celebrating. And believe me, if you are if you're streaming, you should be celebrating because it's an amazing thing. And hydrate. Okay, Mixel, this morning I'm trying decaffeinated Irish breakfast tea with butter. I'm sort of leaning into it's a good thing. The more I drink it, actually, the better I like it. But I won't have the final decision until the end. So, you know, we'll have to see. But, streaming. Yep, do it, Estrael. Go tomorrow. Oh, my goodness. It is an amazing film. Like I said, either wear earplugs or take an antihistamine before then. It's sort of like going on a plane, except it would be as if that plane were dropping exponentially for 10,000 feet. So, you know, there is a pressure. Also, dress warmly. You know, I went up with a group and somebody was in shorts, and I swear their legs actually, you know, looked almost slightly blue, because when we left the plane and started plummeting, it was like minus 17 degrees Fahrenheit. So, for those of you who do Celsius, you can do the calculation, but minus 17 degrees Fahrenheit. It is cold when you jump out of a plane. I don't care how sunny it is. It's cold when you jump out of a plane. So, make sure you got some jeans on and some long sleeves. But it's a bird, it's a plane. Wait, no, it's just AD trying to make a splash. Oh my gosh. Every once in a while, I'll watch people play Call of Duty, and if a glitch happens and their parachute doesn't open and they just like, woo, splat. It's actually kind of fun to watch somebody drop like a meteorite. But, it is, interesting. It is interesting. 9.8 meters per second. Awesome till you get close to the ground. I know. It's like, when you... And it was weird because, and I asked the guy, he goes, well, it's usually right around, when we open up, it's like the parachute opens right after that. But, all of a sudden it was almost like not moving. And then this point hit when it was like, whoa! Yeah, and all of a sudden the earth is like hurtling up at you. I will be 76 all day from morning till bedtime where I am, so I'm good. It is so different. And often when I find people who are, they feel stuck in their life. They feel like they can't focus past this moment. And they feel like they're stuck. They feel like nothing is moving. They feel like nothing is changing. So I'll say, jump out of a plane. And they're like, what? And I said, go and do a tandem jump. Because if there is anything that I believe, my belief, will stop somebody from feeling like nothing is moving, jump out of a plane and you will see just how fast things are moving. And it is, it really is a life-changing experience because of the fact, one, as we were falling before the parachute opened, I was thinking, it's like, what if the parachute doesn't open? What if this is one of those, or it opens and it starts twirling up on itself and, or for some reason, and this is going to end badly. It is that feeling of risk, and that's why it's a leap of faith. And once you do, and once you get to the bottom, and once, you're actually back on terra firma, it changes you. You don't look at the sky the same way. And it is, you've seen literally a bird's eye view or a raindrop's eye view. You want something to change your focus? Give yourself something much bigger to focus on. It's a rush for sure. Can't worry about the little things. Exactly. It doesn't matter what else is going on in your life, whether it's bills or relationships or whatever. None of that even enters your mind in that moment. And it is, it is. I recommend it to everybody because, if to do at least once. Because your perspective, it broadens your focus. Suddenly you see everything. You see, and not just physically everything. Your focus becomes so broad that everything in your life in that moment comes into a sort of perspective. You suddenly find it very easy to see what it is that is significant and what isn't. Now, also, try to keep your mouth closed, because if you open your mouth, it makes it much harder to breathe, because it's like, if you're like pointing downward and you open your mouth, it's like the air is going to rush in, so it makes it a little bit challenging to exhale. So just breathe through your nose. Little hint. And you don't worry about the little things. You don't worry about the petty arguments. You don't sweat the small stuff when you're dropping, 10,000 feet. And, suddenly your focus is so much bigger. Even after you land, you look around and suddenly everything has a different brightness to it, a different level of appreciation. So, Yeah, it is a little on the extreme side. And for those who, just are like, nope, that is not for me, fine. That is your choice. And it's different than any other experience you could have. And you talk to anybody who actually has done it, and it's a different experience. And it can kind of shake things up enough that, you start finding solutions. I mean, there was some stuff that was really weighing on me before I jumped. And afterwards, when I got to the ground, I'm driving home and it's like, oh my gosh, suddenly I started thinking about solutions. And it was like, wow, no, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this. I mean, being out there, just looking down on everything, all of a sudden possibilities open up too. And once you decide that you want to embrace those possibilities, I mean, it's just like amazing how fast, just by being the willingness to embrace any possibility, possibilities start coming up. You start noticing them more. Or maybe they were there all the time and you just didn't see them. And, as we were mentioning earlier with Jay Stun Z, he was talking about he was on the fence about something. Being on the fence means that you can see more than one side. If you're fully inside one yard and there's a fence, you're not going to get a clear view. So sometimes what you need more than anything else is to be on the fence. Because then you can focus on so much more. You can focus on, all the sides of the issue that you want to look at. So don't worry if you're kind of in between something and you can't figure it out. First off, other than jumping out of a plane and a few other things, there is no choice you make that you can't make another one after you've made it. You can decide that, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is my best choice, and you start doing it and it's like, this may not be taking me where I want to go. Or I may need to tweak this choice. Or, maybe I can stick with the choice, but I seriously need to fine tune it. Or I need to be more specific in what I'm choosing. Because that's something that can, be difficult, is we don't realize we're not being very specific. Because, what we're focusing on is a little bit, it's either too broad or too narrow. And the reason it could be either one is that if our focus is too broad, then, it's like, well, I want to be rich. Okay. Do you want to be rich based on a job that you have? Do you want to be rich based on something you invent? Do you want to be rich by exploding on Twitch? Okay. You need to be more specific because, my personal feeling is that the universe and creator will meet us halfway, at least. We have to be clear on what we're asking for. It's sort of like, when you go out to get something to eat with a friend and you say, okay, what do you want? Oh, I don't know. What do you want? Well, but what do you want? I'm asking you what you want. Well, I don't know. What do you want? So if we're playing, I don't know, what do you want with the things that we want, we're not going to get very far. We need to be specific. It's like, okay, it's not that I want to be rich, but I want to have a career that will make me very successful. Or I want to, find a mate. Now, no judging. One way to get rich is to go meet somebody who's wealthy and marry them. Oh, well, I want to do it that way. Again, no judgment, but, that's a way. So if we narrow down exactly what we want, then it makes it easier. Now, at the same time, if our focus is too narrow, then we limit our choices because it's like, no, because I only want choices that give me this exact thing. So it's possible to be too focused because then we miss opportunities. We miss other possibilities if we're only looking for one possibility. No, I want to date this one particular person. Well, then every choice is limited to only what will work to get that one particular person who, oh, by the way, they might not want you. So the idea that, well, no, and if I don't get that particular person, then then I have nothing. It's all or nothing. Almost nothing is all or nothing. There's always possibilities, that every single choice we make open up possibilities. And then when we choose one of those, just the possibility of it, then that means that, okay, that opens up more choices, which opens up more possibilities, which opens up more choices, which makes our focus, either bigger or smaller. Now, for me, I will start with the big thing. You know what? I want to win the lottery. Okay, but why do I want to win the lottery? Well, I want to win the lottery so I can get a lot of money. Okay, and a lot of money would enable me to do what that I want to do? Well, so that I could travel and, not have to worry about paying my bills and help out family members. Okay, so if we want to do that, is there another way other than winning the lottery that we could do that? Okay, so then it opens up other possibilities. If I just stay focused on, I want to win the lottery, then none of the possibilities stand out because it's just a blanket statement. Willie D official! Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. It's nice to see your name. And what do we focus on today? I just got here. We're focusing on focus. We're focusing on whether or not you are focusing too much or too little. Is your focus so broad that you can't nail down what you really want? Or is your focus so specific that you lose sight of all the other possibilities that maybe you didn't even think of? So we were talking about Willie D. Official. You said my name right. I like you already. Well, I like you too. Oh, and by the way, if you stream, please let us know what you're streaming, when you're streaming it. I have absolutely no problem with self-promotion. So I love when people share what they do, share what they're proud of, share what they're celebrating. If you've got something going on, and especially if you're working on building your stream, please let us know so we can go and support. And, I love it when people, because I've gotten so much help with the things that I've done and with everything that I do. If I won, I'm buying a lot more bunnies. I stream General Buffoonery at 2 p.m. Central Time. Alrighty, folks. And, of all the things that Twitch does make easy, it makes it very easy. So all you have to do, click on Willie D Official, go to the channel, say, okay, I want to follow, and bam, done. You've got it. And it is, it's just that easy. I have just done it, and so I encourage you to do that too, because, it is, and thank you so much for the follow back. And, and frankly, one of my favorite things is General Buffoonery. It is absolutely one of my favorite things. So I will definitely be checking that out. So 2 p.m. Central Time. So that makes it noon my time. Cool. And we are doing this is the summer of fun. July is Bean Boozled month. So for every 100 bits, I will eat 1. For every follow, I will eat 2. For every sub, I will eat 3. And this morning, I decided that for every raid, I will eat 1 for every person in the raid. So, I've had those before. Nasty, I know. Next month, we're doing the Harry Potter beans. And those are just all weird. June was Spicy Bean Boozled Bean month, which it's like, I like spice, but wow. But we did check to see things that will cut spice. For me, it was heavy whipping cream and condensed coconut milk. Those were the 2 things that cut the spice best. So, what do we have here? We have, okay, it's like the light kind of makes it hard. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, so we either have strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish, or it could be peach or barf, but I think it's strawberry smoothie or strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish. And we have, I think, birthday cake or dirty dishwater or coconut or spoiled milk. So, hot take, Harry Potter beans taste better than Bean Boozled. I was literally about to say that before you brought it up. Oh, I know. It's like, because the flavors are like earwax. Okay. First off, I am convinced that these companies have people chained up in a basement somewhere and are feeding them horrible things and then give them a bean and say, so, does that taste like it? So somewhere under the Harry Potter, thing, there is people being force-fed earwax. We must free them. So, and also, you get to choose whether or not I eat them together or one at a time. I would do that for the rest. See? Okay, okay. Question. If you were paid $1 million, would you be willing to spend 6 months eating nasty stuff in a basement so Bean Boozled Beans could be created? That would be my ideal career path. Okay, for $1 million, yeah. I'd probably do it. 500,000, probably still do it. But, it's like, okay, if you, work your way down, what would be the minimum amount that you would be willing to do that for? I wouldn't even have to be paid $1 million, to be honest. Oh, my God. Simpatico. I'd do it for 15 hours. Oh, my gosh. Oh, that is so funny. Oh, you are so cool. Definitely checking out your stream. Okay, so do I eat these one at a time or both at a time? And JJ the Bunny like, what? It is a thing. It is a thing. I ate a whole fistful of them yesterday, and it was like, I think I actually randomly pulled every bad one out of all of them. Nah, can't be away from my bunny friends that long. Oh, that's true. One at a time. And guess what it is? Okay, so we're going to do, let's see, which has the worst aftertaste? And I'll have that one first and hopefully get canceled. Okay, we're going to do, and the thing is, it's like, I'm not positive whether or not this is coconut or sour milk or if it's birthday cake and dirty dishwater. 15 to 20 million, maybe. As long as I get to bring at least 5 bunnies. See, there's negotiation. All right, here we go. And Wiley, the official, welcome. This is for you. Okay. Birthday cake! Birthday cake right out of the gate. Oh, we've got Ice Charlotte! Oh my gosh, folks. Ice Charlotte. She is the My Little Pony princess / warrior goddess queen of Twitch. She is amazing. Hi, beautiful lady. Hope you're having a great day. Well, I tell you what. I will let you know if I'm having a great day after I find out if this is strawberry banana smoothie or what? Dead fish. And Sheila Marcel! Okay, folks, let's do this. Strawberry banana smoothie! Yes! The Bean Boozled Bean gods are smiling on me today. So yes, I am having a good day. Somebody had mentioned that my microphone picks up my chewing. So if that's loud or like horrible, please let me know and I'll try to tweak it. Smiling like a dead fish. So folks, we are these two ladies who have just come in. Oh my gosh. Charlotte, got to go and watch her stream because she is absolutely a sweetheart. And Sheila Marcel, she is so kind and so nice, and she does this thing. If you've never heard of diamond painting, first off, it's absolutely beautiful. And she does diamond painting. If you ever wanted to know about it or want to see some amazing examples, or if you want to try it and you don't know how, Sheila, it's like a tutorial. And she's also pretty cool at Stardew Valley as well. And Don't Starve. And she is always up for someone to play Phasmophobia with her. So if anybody wants to play Phasmophobia, definitely give that name a click. You know, connect up with her because she can be a cool person to do that with. That just means you can ride the ASMR train. You know, first time when I saw that, it's like, ASMR? What's ASMR? Is that a new thing? Because there are so many times. Oh, JJ! See, JJ always has an emote that fits. But, you know, you guys have no idea how many times, I mean, I'm a boomer, that so I'll see letters in the chat and it's like, okay, I've got to remember that. And then afterwards I go through the chat and I'm Googling. It's like, wait a minute, what does that mean? What does that mean? And after a while, I at some point, I know for a fact that I'm going to be typing in Google, what does this mean? And all it's going to come up with is, okay, boomer. I have asthma. Oh my gosh. Cough, cough. And for those of you who are, you know, today's experiment is, okay, now we've done bulletproof coffee before, which is black coffee with butter in it. I decided, well, why don't I try it with decaffeinated Irish breakfast tea? The more I drink it, the slightly better I like it. It's kind of growing on me. JJ did point out that at some point the part of my brain that loves butter kicks in and goes, you know what, this is a good thing no matter what. So, N-A-N-I, Nani? Okay, I'll be Googling that. Nani? Did you say coffee with butter in it? Why, yes, I did. It is called Bulletproof Coffee. And I have been working on getting into better shape, and it is actually occurring. It meant giving up certain things. And so I kind of went keto because that had the most things on it that I do like to eat. With the exception of my starches. I love potato chips and you know, and French fries and all of that stuff. So I'm trying to, you know, monitor that. So I found out about this thing called Bulletproof Coffee. Now, butter is keto. So you would take butter, rather than using cream and sugar in coffee, you take like a tablespoon of butter and put it into black coffee. And, you know, it's actually healthier. Now, butter is healthier than margarine, but, you know, and then that's like if you're going on like the keto thing. And so it has been working. I have been I've been, you know, I want to use cream, sugar, and butter, though. You know what? That might be an idea. Now, the biggest thing about it isn't the taste. It's the texture. Because there's that, you know, when you're used to coffee and then you have that slightly buttery texture, the first time I tried it, it was like, I don't know about this. And then I sipped again and I thought, no, it might be okay. And then the third sip, and maybe, as JJ said, the part of my brain that loves butter anyway said, look, we'll take anything with butter on it. Oh, okay, this is good. I like it. I'm sipping this, and it's like, it's better than it was the first time I tried it, but I'm still not convinced. So we will have to see. We will have to see. Adding butter doesn't feel like it'd be healthy. You would think that. Because the whole keto thing, I was like, at first, I was totally against it. But actually, it makes sense. And also, I remember when I was younger, I mean, you know, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s. So growing up in the 60s meant that everything was buttered, everything had salt, everything. But the thing is that for the most part, none of us were overweight. We didn't eat margarine. We just ate butter. Because back then, it was real inexpensive. So, goody games! Yay! Goody games in the house. Hello, my friend. Man, you look young as heck. Oh, sweetie, thank you so much. I am like nearing 60. So, but thank you. That is so sweet of you. Maybe it's the butter. I don't know. I mean, because, you know, growing up back then, it was like, okay, let me see. How much did butter cost in the 60s? How much? Okay. Did cost in the 60s? Okay, let's see. The price, food prices. Okay, let's see. Comparing the prices. Alrighty. A Ford Mustang was under $3,000. Levi jeans were $5. Candy bars were 5 to 10 cents. I remember that. But where's butter? I need to know about butter. Butter prices. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Oh no, I don't want the corporate butter prices. Food, okay, food, groceries, and toiletries. We're going to take a little step back. I'm 23 and I'm pretty sure I already look older than you. Bacon was 79 cents a pound. Cheerios were 28 cents. French fries, 89 cents. Eggs. Butter was 67 cents a pound. Okay, so when you're paying 67 cents a pound, which, I mean, you know, back then was a big deal, you know, still, we ate everything with butter, and yet that was probably the healthiest I had ever been. I could gain 1 pound for 67 cents. Oh, you know, the fact that you're 23 is like, wow, you're not just young enough to be my child, you're young enough to be one of my youngest child. My sons are in their 30s. So, but thank you so much. Anyway, but, you know, Goody Games, I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're doing good, and I hope that you are just enjoying life and things are going well for this Friday for you. But, yeah, you know, I'm working on, and in fact, I recently got my nose pierced. I got my nose pierced about 2 weeks ago. I'm doing well. Crisco! Oh my gosh! Yes, the can of Crisco. Okay, and how many of you, I mean, some of you may be a little young for it, but how many of you had a can, you know, for us it was an old coffee can that was cleaned and put on the stove that you poured the bacon grease into? How many of you had a parent that saved bacon grease? Still cooking with Crisco. I'm telling you, gotta represent. I mean, you were young, shrugging off butter would be easy. Well, yeah, but I mean, for the most part, the teenagers and the adults, you know, there were, you know, some there were some obesity issues, but nowhere near the scale. And I mean, we ate stuff like meatloaf. We ate, you know, everything was either fried. Weekends were barbecues. You know, everything. There was all kinds of baked goods. No matter where you went, there was cakes and cookies. And, you know, and pretty much there wasn't that level of obesity. But, you know, in Memphis, we use the term, now you're cooking with Cristo, as a way of implying someone is improving at something. Yep. Pretty sure most of us don't even know what Cristo is. I did, and do the bacon thing still do. Yep. I remember waiting for them to be empty so they could be used to store everything in the house in the garage. Oh, makes good biscuits. Oh my God. The best biscuits. I mean, you know, it was, well, also consider that during that time, most people spent their recreational time outside. I mean, we only had 3 TV channels. And, you know, that went down to 2 if the rabbit ears weren't working right and you had to put some tinfoil on them. Or, you know, have one of the kids in the house walk around the room with the rabbit ears until you find that perfect spot. Or you had to go up on the roof and check the aerial. Yeah, how many people remember those? The aerial up on top of the roof. JJ grew up with that phrase. Nice. Yeah, you know, it is, you know, when you could buy lard, when you would buy lard. And it's funny because so many of the things that I grew up with, Ovaltine and Bosco, and, you know, guess it's not a local thing. I thought, yep, tower antennas was the greatest invention from rabbit ears. Well, considering we've got 2 bunnies in here, they would be the experts on rabbit ears. It's like, just hold up the bunny, and it's like, okay, is the TV better? But for the most part, we were outside. I mean, summer vacation, it was like, okay, once your chores were done, we were told to go somewhere else. We either went down to the nearby high school where they had, the swimming pool was opened, and for 50 cents, you could swim for 4 hours, or you went down the opposite way on the street to the local library that was down at the end of the block and hang out there because they had air conditioning. Tang! Oh my gosh! Nostalgia moment. Oh, Tang, we would beg my mom, but she said it was too expensive. But we said, but the astronauts drink it, because that was the big thing about Tang. That was what the astronauts would drink. I lived on Tang when I was young. Oh, yes. Tang was the best. And, oh my God, Strawberry Quick and Chocolate Quick. I mean, you know, but Ovaltine was the thing. Ovaltine was my thing. And, you know, and it's like, so it's like that one Christmas movie, Christmas Story, where, you know, they're talking about Ovaltine, and it's like, I remember Ovaltine. I thought the astronauts drank their own urine. That's probably, see, that was the big thing when we were little, because yes, there was like the moon shot and all kinds of stuff. During my lifetime, a lot of pretty amazing stuff happened. And the whole idea of astronauts, and then G.I. Joe, whoever had a G.I. Joe, you know, they had like the space capsule set, which if you were to still have that, it was like about 20 years ago, somebody sold one of those at auction, mint condition, for almost $1 million. And it included, they had like a little, well, we called them 45s. They had like the little record that came with it that would, that was the actual recording of the moon landing. So, you know, I remember, more Ovaltine, please. That's right. You know, and then there was I Love Bosco, Rich and Chocolatey. You know, that was like the Bosco theme. But it was, you know, I mean, all of those things. And we drank out of hoses, for God's sakes. We shared gum. You know, if you were a real friend and you had gum and somebody else needed gum, you bit off half your gum and gave it to them. That was the sign of a real friend. Yeah, Bosco. It was, you don't remember Bosco? It was, and it was in a bear. It was like in this little squeeze thing that was a bear. So it was the Bosco bear. And Bosco was basically the same as Chocolate Quick, but it was liquid. So you would take it. I collect 45s. One of the only record store we still have leaves them out in the sun and sells them for 25 cents. That is sacrilege. That is, oh my God, that is horrible. And then, okay, so if you remember 45s, you remember that little plastic piece that would go inside it so you could play it on your record player, because the hole on the 45 was like this big, which I never understood that. It's like, why does a 45 have a center hole this big, you know, and a 33 have a, you know, hole this big that fits the thing? So you had to get the little insert piece that you put inside the center of the 45 that allowed you to play it. Yeah, the fidget spinner looking thing. Oh, well, I'm not a big chocolate fan, so not something I would have had regardless. Yep. I think it's because of the weight. Probably. I mean, you know, it was, I mean, oh my gosh. Having, you know, those old record players, and we'd sit, and sometimes we would check out records from the library and go home and play them. But, you know, you didn't touch Dad's stereo, though. That was, you know, we had like the little box thing that you open up and it's a little record player. But no, you did not mess with Dad's stereo. But it was, oh yeah, you know, it's... Sometimes I find myself focusing on the past, and I think about like the old commercials and how totally inappropriate they would be now. Because back in the 60s, oh, by the way, it wasn't clear that smoking and drinking while pregnant was bad. So you'd have like alcohol commercials, and you'd have like, you know, celebrating finding out you were having a baby, and, you know, they're drinking, you know, champagne or something, or smoking, you know, talking about the new baby. All the doctors smoked. So it was a different time. But, you know, growing up in the 60s was actually pretty cool. And you saw a lot of transformation. It was, you know, Woodstock. And, you know, my dad had this big, like, double album for Woodstock. Baby needed to tie one on to. Oh, yeah. I remember all of that smoking cigars in the old movie. Yeah, my dad actually had a smoking jacket. My parents had cocktail parties where my dad would wear his smoking jacket and his fez. He had a fez. Those of you who don't know what a fez is, F-E-Z, look it up, Google it, and no, it's not the guy who used to be on that 70s show. And you always knew when there was a cocktail party in our neighborhood because all of the women were either, you know, at home getting their wigs worked on because, you know, everybody wore wigs, you know, rolling their wigs and, you know, getting those washed and ready. Good Lord, a fez? Wow. Oh, yeah. My dad had a fez. It was the little monkey hat. Yes, that was the little monkey hat. But hey, back then, if you had a fez and a smoking jacket, you know, the red one with the black, you know, collar on it, you were styling. And the women had, like, you know, the poofy skirted cocktail dresses and, you know, that came off the shoulder. And, you know, and the cocktail parties, basically, you know, there were four of us. We were kind of marched out and, you know, we all said hello to the guest and then we went back to our room and we were to stay quiet the rest of the night. My dad smoked pipes, never had a jacket though. Yep. My dad, he went through a pipe phase and then he was cigarettes, then pipe, then cigars. I don't even know why I associate with monkeys. Maybe it's because of Aladdin. Yep. Well, and you know, we used to have the cymbal banging monkey, which was like, da, 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 da. Actually a very creepy toy. I never warmed up to that toy. That and Jack in the Boxes, because they gave me anxiety. A Jack in the Box, you know, you're staring at da, 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 and it was almost always Pop Goes the Weasel. And you're sitting there and you're cranking it, and the closer it's getting to that point and you start feeling anxious because you know it's gonna boom pop up, you know, it's creepy. Why did we have such creepy toys? We had a lot of creepy toys when I was young. Yeah, I mean, it's a wonder why any of us slept at night. Those things were terrifying. My grandmother had one. Oh yeah, and it was always some really freaky looking clown with, like, you know, big eyes and a big, you know, big grin that was anything but funny. See, that's why a lot of people grew up with a fear of clowns. It was the Jack in the Box. Oh my God, it was and we had lawn darts, which was basically a giant dart that you threw at one another, you know, because, you know, it's like you had a ring that you were supposed to get the dart in, but you'd have people standing around the ring to see if it went in, and so it's like you're basically hurling a giant dart at your friends. Jarts. Yeah, lawn darts. We had, you know, I mean, no respect for gravity. We had toys where you would take something and you, like a slingshot type of thing, and you'd shoot it up into the air and then see it come down, and it's like, you realize that when it's coming down, it's faster than when it went up. You know, it was, yeah, you know, we had wood burning kits that had a cord that was, you know, not that long, so you were usually right next to the plug that was right next to the drapes when you were using it. It's a wonder we even survived. Chemistry sets. Okay, we had chemistry sets with actual chemicals in them. I mean, nobody would be allowed to use the stuff that we used. I mean, we had, like, you know, oh boy, mercury. They would give us, like, you'd get like a little jar of mercury just so you could put it in your hand and, you know, roll it around in your hand. No, not a good idea to give to 10-year-olds. Crochet. I occasionally crochet. I got into crocheting. My mom got me into crocheting. I used to knit. Mercury, wow. Oh yeah. That was a standard thing. It was considered a toy where, you know, you would take mercury and you put it in your hand, you know. Magnesium strips are little, you know, like appropriate for, you know, 10 and up. Contained magnesium strips that you could light on fire and watch them burn. You know, it was that reality thing. But, you know, and sometimes it's fun to think about the stuff we used to do. Mercury is one of the worst, gets everywhere, contaminates everything. Exactly. Back when, and there have been documentaries on this. I remember when there were the watches with the glow stuff in it. I'm blanking on the name. You do that when you get old. What was, okay, I know somebody in there knows. The glow in the dark stuff that was in watches. Radium, that was it. And the people who worked at the radium factories doing the little painting on the watches, there was this whole documentary where they would take stuff home and they would actually, they would paint their teeth with radium so that when they went to a club and the lights were down, they went to a bar, they would smile and their teeth would glow. But they were painting radium on their teeth because it was a fun thing to do. And there have been, shows. But yeah, I remember, when my dad was very excited to get a radium watch. Oh yeah, radium isn't good. I think they replaced that with night glow stuff that wasn't radium. Yeah. Back then, Coca-Cola had actual cocaine in it. We were a strange generation. But, we managed to survive. Maybe that's why we stayed so thin, is because we were drinking a drink that had cocaine in it. I don't know. But, I remember that we were living, because I grew up Air Force. I was an Air Force brat. And so some of the times we were living on bases. And I remember in Oklahoma was the first time we got a color television. And the color television was the first in our neighborhood. We were the first family in our neighborhood to get a color TV. And so, of course, we became very popular. And then my parents' cocktail parties took off, because then, it's like part of it would be, like the cocktaily part. And then it's like, well, everybody, let's crowd around the TV. And, people would crowd around the TV and they'd turn on the TV and the whole party would be sitting there and watching the color TV. And my parents would be like, yeah, we got a color TV. And there was an old TV series called Dark Shadows. Now, they did a remake and they did a movie on it, but I mean the old Barnabas Collins original Dark Shadows. And we always watched it when we had the black and white TV. But for some reason, when we changed it to a color TV, and there was some actual, it wasn't totally color because, but there was additional shading that kind of came in. It terrified my younger brother, so we couldn't watch the show anymore. Ooh, JF413 Studios! Welcome. Hope you're having an amazing day. I am having an amazing day. Thank you very much. And it's even more amazing now that you're here. Welcome. I hope that you're having a wonderful time. I hope you're having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. And by the way, if you are a streamer, please feel free to post your stream. Let us know when you're streaming, what you're streaming. And, while most channels, a lot of channels have an issue with that, I don't. I want you to self-promote. I want you to let people know who you are, where you are, what you're doing, and, if it's your birthday or whatever, or if it's your anniversary, if you beat a game you had a hard time with, whatever it is, it's a reason to celebrate. And I find very little that is more of a reason to celebrate than doing a stream, because it's a lot of work. And it's an opportunity. People who stream, I was talking about this yesterday, I am a firm believer that streamers are going to save the world. Because if you can do something that helps people, even if it's just one person, to feel a little better about their lives, to feel a little bit more positive, to feel like they're connected to something, to feel like they're not alone, and to maybe, even have a little smile on their face. If you can do that, you're saving the world. And so much love and respect to all the streamers out there, because, it is difficult. And it is a thing. So, and like I said, Twitch makes it easy. All you have to do, click on the name. Click on the name again. They will come up with the thing, and oh my gosh, I see me. And you click follow. Hi! And bam, it's as easy as that to do a follow. And, just enjoy yourself, have some fun, and help somebody else out. Help other streamers out. I'm currently trying to beat Devil May Cry. Ooh, I've watched that one. It makes me feel like I'm not as good at video games as I thought I was. No, 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 no. Devil May Cry is not an easy game. And, you know, you keep at it. You are going to beat this game. You are going to, you know, make this happen. You know, it's like, you know, when I see people who finally beat Dark Souls or Bloodborne or, you know, it's like, you know, Shadow of the Colossus, you know, it is... okay, let's see. Oh, I know that there's a way. 2 messages were deleted posting a link. JJ, can you help out with that? Time out for 1 second. Oh, okay, so it's only for a second. So, yeah, whatever it is, just let me know what it is that you'd like to connect or what the link is. You will not get timed out for the next 60 seconds. Yes! Awesome! Go for it! So, but yeah, you know, and of course, so everybody, we need to go to Wiley the Official so that we can be there in that moment and share the glory of, you know, watching them beat Devil May Cry. You know, it is. It's about having fun. It's about, you know, oh, my pleasure. And it's about, you know, being able to connect. It's about spreading the love, spreading the joy. And, you know, and so many people talk about trolls, and so many people talk about, you know, about the negative side of social media and Twitch and all of that stuff. And the thing is that that's the exception. It's not the rule. The rule is all these amazing people that, you know, you see in these streams who are either streamers themselves or who are supporting streamers. And that is a beautiful thing too, because while we're out there saving the world, while we're out there helping people one person at a time feel a little bit better, I've seen so many streams where someone will come in and they'll say, hey, you know, I'm not doing so good. And bam, immediately the streamer is like, hey, you know, what can we do to help you? You know, you can do this. You know, hang in there. And all of that stuff, it helps to, you know, to be able to, you know, because sometimes the streamer gets down. Sometimes the streamer kind of loses heart. Sometimes the streamer is having a little bit of a bad day. And, you know, and if I'm not feeling great, then I come in and I start streaming and all these wonderful people come in and, you know, we're talking and chatting and laughing and I'm eating Bean Boozled Beans and it's all silly. I'm also a Twitch streamer. I'm helping small streamers grow their channel. I'm also a life and business coach. Awesome! Bad cannot exist without good. Just got to be open to it to find it. Yeah. I mean, you know, a situation can either be great or not so great, but often it's what we look for in it. And I will give you my favorite example of, you know, if you determine it's like an event or something is bad. Let's say there's a party that you wanted to go to. And I mean, it was like the party. You picked the perfect outfit. You got your hair done. You got everything done. And, you know, you're excited and you cleared that time. And then you go out to go to the party and there's a flat tire on your car. And you know that you know, your spare is flat or whatever. And for some reason, you know, because of that flat, you can't go to the party. Is the flat tire a good thing or a bad thing? Well, in that situation, that person would consider that flat tire horrible. Now, let's say there's a party that you're invited to that you do not want to go to. And we all have those. It's like you kind of get roped in. You really don't want to go. You'd really rather be doing something else, like maybe streaming or playing a video game. But you got roped into this party and you've been dreading it all week and you really don't want to go. And you go outside and you've got a flat tire. That means you can't go to the party. In that case, is that flat tire a good thing or a bad thing? So you can have the exact same circumstance, and depending on the perspective and depending on the story we come into it with and the story we attach to it, it could be the worst thing in the world or the best thing in the world. So, you know, trying to figure out, gave you a follow. Oh, gonna go into your next stream so you can show me the business. Oh, okay. Oh, I got a follow. Nice. Okay. Usually it comes up. Usually I get something that says, you know, oh, following. But if we Neither it's the action that makes it bad. Roses can be used to hurt a woman, and a gun can be used to defend someone in need. Destruction comes through actions, but so does growth and love. Absolutely. Ding, ding, ding. I'm telling you, Gaming with Kentucky and JD, spitting straight truth. I already followed you. I was talking about, okay. Well, if I got a follow, usually I get something that comes up here that says I'm being followed. But it is cool. All right, we'll do this. For every follow, we have 2 Bean Boozled Beans. And we are so lucky because, okay, one of them is either buttered popcorn or rotten egg. That's a bad one. But the other one is toothpaste or berry blue. Now, the toothpaste or berry blue, no matter what it is, it will actually counteract the other flavors. So I don't consider it a bad thing. I actually consider it a good thing when I get that. Go on, though. I already followed you. You already ate the beans for me. They followed another viewer, not you. Oh, okay. Go on, though. Well, then we will wait for the next one, and then we will eat those then. But just like JD is saying, that, anything we deal with, anything we encounter, in and of itself, could either be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on where our focus is. And, again, Focus Friday. Where is your focus? Are you focusing on what you lack, or are you focusing on what you have? Are you focusing on the things that you haven't done, or are you focusing on possibilities? Which is why I tell people that when they talk about the things they haven't done, add the word yet. If you, say, I haven't lost the weight I want to lose yet. I haven't made $1 million on Twitch yet. Because just by adding that one word, you create possibility. You open your mind to the fact that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how. And just like the old saying goes, the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. We got to put some efforts. Followed you to, thanks bro, coming to my stream sometime. I'll sing you a very mediocre song. Oh, Wiley the Official sings. We're going to have to check that out. But yeah, I keep trying to lose weight, but it keeps finding me. Oh, JJ, that's why we call him Punny Bunny. But the idea that, you're not locked into a moment. And as we were talking about earlier, one of the things that breaks everybody out of being locked into a moment is jumping out of a plane. And in that, you suddenly see infinite possibilities. So the idea, you called me Willie the first time, which is my name, and now you're calling me Wiley. Oh, what happened? Okay, well, I guess it's because of the EY. And I was looking at it, it's like, wait a minute, is it Wiley or is it Willie? Because the EY usually, it kind of makes it Y. But if it is Willie the Official. I'm old. We get these things wrong sometimes. I say that a lot, and I will continue saying it a lot. I'm a boomer. I'm old. We make mistakes. The double L makes it Will. Alrighty. Well, then, Willie the Official. Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that. I honestly do. I like it when people let me know if there's something that I'm not getting right, and then I can get it right. And the cool thing is that, we don't look at the things that go wrong as failures. We don't look at them as, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And when you are, let's say you're singing and you hit a bad note, it's not the wrong note. It's the perfect note. It's just it belongs somewhere else in the song. When we make a choice that goes badly, it's not that it was a bad choice. It just did not give us the outcome we were looking for. It could be the perfect choice in a different situation. So it's all in how you look at it. Let's see. The double O makes it. And we have Lieutenant Dan's legs! Yes! Oh my gosh, folks. the Dale Earnhardt Jr. of Zombie NASCAR, and my personal hero when it comes to seizing the day and following up on something. You know, Lieutenant Dan went and took this huge trip on a motorcycle all over the place, and oh my God, that's something that I would always dream of. It's just something so cool. And who is back, hopefully, who got all the bugs off of his motorcycle. Happy Friday! Yes, absolutely. I'm not mad or anything. I'm just messing around. Much love, Willie. Sometimes I was thinking about when you brought up those creepy Jack-in-the-Boxes. I find it interesting how younger generations are into horror, like horror games and movies. I wonder what changed. It's not a bad singing voice. It just sounds better at another house. But that is right, and I love the clocks right twice a day. Yep. And yeah, you know, I think because in some ways the real world may have become a bit scarier. And, you know, when we were young, okay, back in the day, we didn't have school shootings. Back in the day, you know, we didn't have, you know, like the spontaneous violence that can just sort of pop out places. You know, yes, growing up in the 60s meant seeing racial injustice and seeing the fights and battles, but pretty much that was it. You know, they were focused. If something big was going on, there was like a specific reason for it. And, you know, we didn't have, I mean, you know, we had illnesses and, you know, it's like, okay, polio, whooping cough, and then we got vaccines for it. We didn't really think about it too much. And kids today are faced with a lot of big, scary stuff. And, you know, with the World Wide Webiverse, people find out about things. I mean, we didn't find out about horrific things happening in other places until you either got the morning paper, the evening paper, or you watched the news at 6 o'clock or at 11 o'clock. And the news at 11 o'clock, after that ended, the broadcasting day ended. You know, they played the Star Spangled Banner, and then all the channels went off until morning. Let's see. Those monkeys and country bears at Disney World are way creepier than Silent Hill or Friday the 13th. Prove me wrong. Okay, Willie's spitting straight truth. And oh my God, going into a Chuck E. Cheese, I was always creeped out, you know, when it's like, and everybody would want their kids' birthday parties there, and I would take the kids there, and they liked it. But oh my God, there was something about the Chuck E. Cheese characters. So later on, when I saw, like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's like, it's Chuck E. Cheese! I knew that they were killing people. Have an awesome day. You too, my friend. You too. You have an absolutely awesome day. Have an awesome stream. Thank you so much for coming in. And, you know, we'll definitely check you out and you know, connect up and, you know, and everybody, you know, give JF 413 Studios much, much love because he's out there working to help people find more joy in life, find more opportunity in life, find more possibilities in life. And anybody who's helping people find possibilities, that is an amazing thing. So, you know, saving that world. You keep going at it. And world ends at 10, news at 11. Yep. People complain about racism. Try having a family that is mixed and fine with it. You'll see people who are not and from all sides of the fence. I'll never do anything but love everyone because there is too much to love. Being selective, you'll miss out. They are. Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense when you put it that way. It's interesting as well how old things are being used to be creepy, which is funny you brought up Five Nights at Freddy because I really enjoy that game series. It is creepy but fun. Nick Cage made a Five Nights at Freddy rip-off movie. Hollywood has very unusual taste these days. Oh my gosh, yes. And, you know, it really is... You know, and I've decided that in October, which is going to be Spooktober, I'm going to play horror games, and I'm trying to decide. So I'm thinking about doing Five Nights at Freddy's and seeing, you know, how much I can, which basically, you know, you're supposed to turn up the headphones until, you know, it comes out of your toes. But I may try Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'm trying horror games. So if anybody's got suggestions for horror games for me to try, then I will consider them. Akamore! Oh, sweetheart, how are you? I'm so glad to see you. I hope that you're doing better today. I hope that the world is being a little bit more gentle with you today. And around. I hope that things are going better. So, you know, much love, sweetheart. But I'm glad to see you here. You know, the best horror game is not playing one. Oh, this one, okay. You know, full disclosure, you know, JJ played some very, very scary games that you know, people attacking you and stuff. That freaks me out. I heard the Slender Man game is good. Ooh, I've seen Slender Man played, but it's like a lot of running around. I'm doing a bit better. Mwah. Then I'm very, very happy that you're doing a bit better, because even every little bit better is cool. Five Nights at Freddy's is interesting, but the lore is super confusing. If I wanted to explain it, we would be here for a good 6 hours. That is what I've heard, that there's all kinds of different things about lore and you know, because, you know, and it is about people attaching a story, technically, to a story. Let's see. I've never played a horror game that I didn't find really boring. Oh, wow. Tried playing Resident Evil last Halloween, hated it, and not because it was scary, because it wasn't. Yeah, you know, and for people who have like that high tolerance, you know, frankly, I panic very quickly. So if too much starts happening and zombies, I have a thing about zombies. Zombies creep me out. More than any other monster, zombies creep me out. And FEMA, the government FEMA website, has a zombie apocalypse plan. You tell me that they don't know something's going on. And the time to create your zombie apocalypse plan is not the time when the zombie apocalypse hits. You got to have that plan up front. So everybody, have your zombie apocalypse plan ready. But yeah, you know, I mean, I freak out fairly easily. And I mean, I play Don't Starve, and when something jumps out of the bushes at me, it's like, ah! And you know, and like first person shooters, I just panic and start firing randomly into the trees. You want real hard video games, play Mario Party and watch your friend land on a chance time space. Oh my gosh. Well, if zombies, I want Rick from The Walking Dead. Lol. Are you kidding? I am definitely hitting up all of the gamers here on Twitch, all those who play 7 Days to Die and you know, and PUBG with the zombies and all of that stuff, because if anybody knows how to survive a zombie apocalypse, it's all of the people who play 7 Days to Die. I'm telling you, they got this down. Yeah, my brother and I were really into FNAF when we were younger. We were on a 6-mile walk and the storyline convo came up. Talked about it the whole time. Yep, it was the first time the game came up in conversation in years. Hit up all the weebs. We own swords. Yes! Yes! Hey, as someone who owns swords, I do have a katana, and it's like, oh yeah, after, I mean, and I could barely watch Walking Dead, but Michonne was like my favorite character. It's like, okay, I've now added my katana to my zombie apocalypse plan. Yeah, here's the basics. TLDR, a British employee guy kills children who poses robots, and then the robots kill the night guard. Now, if we get into the more complex stuff, we're going to have to talk about the time traveling ball pit. I'm intrigued. And something about a purple guy. Not sure who the purple guy is, but you know, I'm sure folks can, you know. Ooh, she's an amazing woman. Oh yeah, Michonne was like, oh my gosh, I kept thinking, it's like, please don't kill Michonne, please don't kill Michonne, please don't kill Michonne. Yeah. Hello! Lady Auric! Oh my gosh! Oh, folks, friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your ears and your follows to go and follow Lady Auric, who uses the word smile more in any stream than I've ever heard any streamer. She does it more in every stream than any streamer, and she is the dancing queen of Twitch. She will get up, she will dance, she has a unicorn. You have got to see this, so definitely click on that name, Lady Auric, my lady. It is so good to have you here. I was sat down in front of the movie Poltergeist when I was 6 and I was unfazed. Okay, you're a savage. I could not do that. I could not watch Poltergeist. Yeah, the purple guy is a British guy named William Afton. There's so much, it's too much to get into. See, Goody Games, you need to do a stream where you explain all that stuff. I know I would watch it. Still watching Walking Dead. None of the main characters are even in the show anymore. I don't get scared easily by movies. Yeah. I wasn't freaked out in the Poltergeist till a clown started moving. Yeah, that's freaky. And Amityville Horror. Oh my God. That was like horrible. So I will say, for the new Walking Dead, I have my Twitter account, and there was somebody who started following me, and so when people would follow me, I would check, and it turned out that it was a guy named Daniel Newman, and I didn't know who Daniel Newman was, and it turned out he was one of the actors off of The Walking Dead. And at first I thought it was like, no, it's a parody account or whatever. No, it was the actual guy, and he followed me on Twitter, and I was so excited. And we ended up having a conversation about, because he's a vegetarian, and we ended up having a conversation about the Beyond Burger, which, out of all of the vegetarian burgers, the Beyond Burger for me is actually the best. It is the actual most like meat. So, and he convinced me to try it, and I tried it, and I loved it. But yeah, it's like, oh, the purple guy's story, a long story. So the purple guy's story too. We need to have a panel of all of you guys explaining all of that. I can try to stream to talk about it, but it would definitely need to be a day when I have a few hours. Well, no, you make it a series, sweetie. I've seen every episode of Walking Dead. Why do I not recognize this guy? He was in 10 episodes. What? Yep. And he is so sweet. He is so nice. And, and he does engage a lot on Twitter and stuff. So, yep. But that's one of my claims to fame, is that I have, that Daniel Newman followed me first. Because honestly, I didn't know who he was. Too many characters to keep up with. Yeah, I had mixed feelings when they killed off Carl. Because I could understand the actor wanting to move on and to do other things. And, and there was like a really big arc for Carl. I've heard a lot of people who didn't like Carl. It's like, why do you dislike Carl? It's like, come on. He was a kid. My brother replayed the scene where the guy's face basically falls off, and Poltergeist, yeah, and it was like, aren't you scared at this? His face fell off. I never really found it disturbing enough. Yep, it is. I mean, for some people, they have such a high tolerance. Me, I startle way too easily. I remember watching the original Night of the Living Dead. Now, if you have never watched the original black and white Night of the Living Dead, that should be, sometime during October, if you're doing an October thing, watch that movie at some point. And have the lights off. I watched it when I was a kid, and that is how my zombie phobia started. I had nightmares all night, have issues, but and it was something about it being in black and white, and there was this creepy music that would be in the background, and the idea of these people, and they were trapped in the house, and it was like, I won't spoil the end, but the end, there is a twist ending to it. But oh my gosh, but somehow I flinch at FNAF 3. Okay, that's the one is it FNAF 4 that's, you're in the bedroom, you're like a kid in a bedroom? Okay, oh no, that's the one where it's like they're trying to rebuild the Five Nights at Freddy thing, and you're the security guard, and some surfer dude is talking to you over the phone. I was not prepared for the face melting at the end of Indiana Jones. That probably freaked me out more than anything in Poltergeist. I have all 8 games on console, so maybe I could stream them and try to help explain it. Absolutely! Oh, Diona raided with a party of 2! Welcome, Diona, one of my personal... And Deadeye! Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, these are 2 of in my opinion, the reigning queens of Twitch gaming. They are so amazing. They are so awesome. Diona, who she packs an amazing stream in her lunch hour. Oh my God, you have to click on that name. And Deadite, Oh my goodness, Deadite of the sapphire hair. I mean, it's worth the price of admission to follow for her hair alone, because she is absolutely stunning. And yet she hides in her shirt like a turtle. And Deadite she has one of the most hilarious commentaries that, I mean, you want to just, I mean, and no matter what game she's playing, she will point out the most hilarious things about it, get into the most hilarious situations. You know, welcome to the Bean stream. Yep. So I added, you know, it's like, so 1 bean for every 100 bits, 2 beans for every follow, 3 beans for every sub, and I decided to include that for every raid I will eat 1 bean for each raider. So we have 2 beans, and we're going to do I mean, we could do them either together, because one is toothpaste or berry blue, which is fine because that counteracts the taste of anything else. This other one is either buttered popcorn or rotten egg. So we're gonna do the buttered popcorn rotten egg one first to see which one it is. Actually, I've been getting nothing but good beans, so you know, this is a trend. Okay. And the trend ends. Okay, that is not buttered popcorn. Okay, we're eating the bean one. We're eating toothpaste or berry blue. It doesn't matter which one, it helps. Toothpaste, I don't care. It helps get rid of the taste of the rotten egg. Oh. Almost. And Deadeye, 300 bits. Oh my god, first off, Deadeye, thank you. Okay, there's one. Oh, we come out of the gate with Booger. Okay, so we have got, alright, we got another blue one. So blue one, I love you, please don't kill me. That's sort of like, it makes me think of Lol Kitty. I like Hasburgers. Okay, so we have got either, this one is either peach or barf, and the other one is juicy pear or booger. I totally need to start doing the bean thing. And, you know, so it's like, okay, so Deadeye, you get to decide if I eat them all at once or one at a time. But, oh, and I was doing so well. I had like, I think 4 beans, and every time I got the good bean, which unfortunately means that the more good beans I get, the more likely there's nothing but nightmares left in this at the end. Torture! Yep, and as a reminder, next month is my birthday. And so what we're doing is we are going to do the Little Nitro World's Hottest Gummy Bear on my birthday. Yes! I have a can of kidney beans. I can do the bean thing! Hey, I love kidney beans. Kidney beans are so good. And, you know, it's like drinking buttered decaf Irish breakfast tea. Okay, when it cools down, it's not as tasty. It's definitely much better hot. Alrighty. So, either way, I'm leaving this one for last because this takes the taste out. Cheese rice cakes. Ooh. Alrighty, let's do this. So, either peach or barf, or pear or booger. Okay. Wait a minute. I think it's peach? Yes, it's peach. For a second, I thought it was going into a booger or a barf direction. Because, you know, they have that sharpness with the barf. No, that's peach. That's peach. That's definitely peach. Okay. Alright. So, we got one good one. Now we've got pear or booger. Okay, that's not pear. That's definitely not pear. That is absolutely not pear. So, we go with the blue. Blueberry or berry blue or toothpaste, doesn't matter. It takes the other tastes out. Blueberry! Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that green one was nasty. Because I just took a drink of my peach Red Bull. See? Inspiring me. Yeah, that peach was weird because it was like, at first I thought it was going into that direction, and then it went to peach. So it kind of faked me out a little bit. But thank you for the biddies. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think ultimately I started off the stream wondering if butter would go as well in decaf Irish breakfast tea as it does with coffee. No. Nope. We will vote a no on that. Nope. We're drinking water. Oh my gosh. Ugh. So, anyway, as we consider what it is we're focusing on, whether it's the nasty bean that is in your mouth, or whether it is a big, huge decision that you need to make, understand that every choice you make leads to more choices. Every decision you make could either go well or go badly. Just because it doesn't give you the outcome you want doesn't mean it's a bad choice. It may be the perfect choice in another situation. And also, just because something looks like it's going in one direction, like eating a peach when you think it's barf and then it goes back to being peach, not everything is how it initially starts off as. Sometimes we can end up with an amazing outcome that started off looking really, really bad. So the idea that, if we can rule out that whole idea of bad choices, because also consider that every choice is the best choice you know to make in that moment with the tools you have. So don't focus so much on whether or not a choice is good or bad. Focus on the idea that that choice is going to lead to outcomes. Now, it may be the outcome you were looking for. It may not be the outcome you were looking for that situation. But it is always going to lead you somewhere. So, and as Jay Stunzi mentioned earlier, that he was on the fence about something, it's when you're on the fence that you can see both yards. You can see multiple perspectives. Sometimes we do have to get into that in-between point so we can take a look at what it is that's going on around us and get the whole picture. Because if we're only on one side of the fence, we don't know what's going on the other side. We can't get a perspective on that. So by saying, you know what? First thing before I decide whether my decision is good or bad, I need more information. And, for some, it may be a perfect decision for you, but if somebody else does the exact same thing, it's not a perfect decision. So don't focus so much on the things that went wrong. All it was an unexpected outcome, or, an outcome that you were hoping for something else. It doesn't mean it was bad. It just means that it didn't get you whatever your goal was in that moment. So don't beat yourself up for it. And oh, by the way, sometimes, once you reach a certain age and your hair gets gray enough, you realize that you look back on a decision and it's like, wow, at the time I thought that was the most horrible decision I could make. And yet it ultimately led me to something that was really amazing and really cool. So, don't judge your decisions based on what happens right away, or in the next week, or in the next month. It could be in the next year. It turns out that was exactly what you needed and exactly what you needed to do. Time to soar more. Sow more. I be lurking. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for coming in on the raid. And, and for everybody who's hanging out in the Loving Lurkers Lounge, thank you. Thank you so much for that. And, just be open. Be open to widening your focus. Don't make it so wide that everything is vague. It's sort of like, if those pictures, those 3D pictures that you have to kind of look at it with soft eyes. You kind of have to, you can't, if you stare at it, you're not going to see the picture. If you're too far back, you're not going to see the picture. You have to figure out for that situation exactly how much focus is the perfect focus. Because everything that you do, you figure out what the perfect focus for that is. Oh goodness, why are my frames suddenly dropping? What the heck? Stay. As a friend used to say, sew buttons on a balloon and get a big bang out of it. That is our funny bunny. That is our funny bunny and our punny bunny. I'm telling you, on Fridays, a lot of times it's like JJ is hitting his stride. He's ready for the weekend. He is ready, busting out the puns for the weekend, which is always fun. Now, as a reminder, tomorrow is Survival Saturday, which means I will be playing a game. When I first started, people said, well, you're the gaming doc. How come we never see you game? So Saturdays I game. I don't necessarily game well, but I have a few games. We were working on, last week we were doing Hamlet, and I actually was not doing bad. So we may go back into Hamlet, or Don't Starve Hamlet. We may go into something else. I've got a couple of other games, some demo games that I was looking at that I thought would be kind of cool. So I may try those. I mean, whatever I choose, ultimately it'll take me somewhere. And if it's a great game, if it's a lousy game, at least I'll find out. But as long as I keep my focus soft, and may I recommend a soft focus, especially when we're looking at ourselves, especially when we're considering judging ourselves for things and nitpicking about what it is that we haven't done or have done, try a soft focus, because then sometimes that little 3D image comes out a lot clearer, and we can see ourselves a lot clearer when we do that soft focus. Let's see. Sorry if my previous mention went through and you already saw this, but one of the stories in the FNAF books really made me kind of cry. Oh, basically a dad in the military built a doll for his son to speak with him while away, and the son's nanny draws the adventure the boy and the doll have so that the dad can know what they did. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Sometimes I miss stuff in the chat. But yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. The sad thing is that the son during it has cancer and passes. What makes me cry is when the son passes, the doll disappears too, since it completed its job to keep the son happy. Oh, well that's sad and it's sweet at the same time. But oh my God, you need to do a stream about all this. I didn't know about this. People who are, checking this out after the fact are going to see this. So, oh my gosh, you need to make a stream. And I mean, you could have a stream for a year and be able to not even cover all the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. And especially as we're coming up on October, that would be the perfect time to start leading into this and then do a big Five Nights at Freddy's thing. Odsins 41 Gaming with the wings. Oh, Odsins! Everybody click on that name, because, I mean, honestly, you could scroll through this chat, click on every name, and you will be happy that you did. And Odsins, who is amazing and absolutely cool. Pocket is reading those right now. Ooh! Well, then we could get Pocket's insight. I'm telling you, there needs to be like a panel or something on Five Nights at Freddy's, because there's all kinds of back lore and all that stuff that, most of us who are just like, terrified about the jump scares, how we get into that. But oh my goodness, it's fun, and it's always, I Will Lol is really interesting. I had no idea there are 10 games, 15 books. I didn't even know there were books, and a movie on the way alongside 2 more games. Oh my gosh, I had absolutely no idea. This needs to be a stream. You need to do this. This must happen. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. There is so much there and so much to unpack, and so many people who are really into that franchise. So, oh my goodness. You're going to be bigger than Ninja. please remember all of us who knew you when. So, it is, would be cool. I had no idea there were books. Honest, I did not know. That is so cool. Wow, there's something for me to look forward to. Something else for me to focus on. But yeah, I think in October, one of the games that I'm going to do is going to be FNAF. Freight Shaked! Oh my goodness! Well, hello, Freight Shaked! Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. I mean, we're almost done actually. But, who is a part of my Nameless family. Awesome, amazing, wonderful. And so click that name. And oh my goodness! Freight Shaked! Yay, I'm glad you're here, and please, 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 inquiring minds want to know what you're streaming, when you're streaming, how are you streaming, let us know. We're doing good, and even better now that you're here. But please, what are you doing? I mean, hey, gots to let people know what folks are streaming, and when they're streaming, and I love self-promotion, I really do. Let us know what's going on, and, because, I mean, honestly, I feel that there is nothing that encourages people like folks sharing what they're doing, sharing what it is that they've got going on. And I just really, 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 appreciate the, when people, I mean, because sometimes they share cool stuff and sometimes they share stuff that's hard. So if they're sharing something that's hard, and we can be there for them. If you've got something going on, and and you can always connect up with me. I've got Discord, I've got Twitter. You can, send out a whisper, message me through Twitch. So if you'd like to talk offline about something, I'm happy to listen. I'm a firm believer that everybody has their own, answer inside of them. For whatever it is they're going through, there's an answer inside of them. They just need the right questions to reach it. And while I'm not big on providing answers, I love looking at questions. So, I do a lot of different games, honestly. Too big of a list of games. Hey, okay, so we have a master of all trades here. So when are you going to be streaming next? I'd like to talk to you about your car warranty. Oh my God, I keep getting these calls and it's like, oh, well, we've been trying to contact you about your warranty. I drive a Subaru that is old enough to drink, so there is no warranty. And it's like, what? Hopefully later today if weather permits. All right, everybody, click on Freight Shaked. Click on that and so that way you get notified when that is happening. Your social security number has been compromised. Oh, yes. Now, I love the one that comes in and says that somebody is using my Amazon account and there have been purchases on my Amazon account. And it's like, I mean, I've got an Amazon account, but not an Amazon credit card. And I go and I check at Amazon and go, oh, wow, no. The bunny, you should say that because I've been trying to reach you about your car warranty. See, everybody's so fun here. It's about the fun. It's about the joy. It's about silly beans. It's about finding a way to get a chuckle out of folks. It's about, either starting, having in the middle, or ending your day with a laugh. And for those of you who watch and think you can't stream, you know what? If you've never tried something, you could be brilliant at it. So give it a shot. You can figure out where your focus is. Maybe it's just streaming and having some fun. Maybe it's building a career. Maybe it's, building a channel to the point where it supports you. Whatever you want to do. Or if you just want to go and hang out in people's streams and have fun that way, that's fine. And your focus doesn't have to be anyone else's focus. You don't have to focus on the things that other people tell you if it doesn't resonate with you, if it's not where your attention wants to go. So if you have to tell yourself a story, tell yourself a good one. Tell yourself a story about how you're amazing. Tell yourself a story about how you can focus on the things that are important to you. Tell yourself the story that your focus can be as big or as small as works for you. And most of all, please remember to focus on the fact that you are the only you in all of the universe. You're the only you that has ever been and the only you that will ever be. And what that does is it makes you special. It makes you sacred. And most of all, it makes you necessary. Because without you, the only you, the universe would not be complete or even the same. So, you have any beans today? Actually, yes, I did. I had a mess of beans, and I started off really good, and then the badness hit. So, it was kind of a mixed bag today. But it's okay. And we figure stuff out, and we move forward, and let's do that. Let us see who we can go in and say hi to. Ooh, let's see. You know what? Mixelin is playing Phasmophobia. Sheila Marcel is doing art. Our Charlotte, I think we went in and saw I Charlotte yesterday. We've got Survival Steve, Gaming with Kentucky and JD. Oh, there are so many choices. Eric the Bearded. Oh my gosh. Okay. Eric is like, he's crazy. He is just absolutely amazing. And let's see, yesterday we raided Bloodshot. So we're gonna raid Eric, and he is so fun. He is so wild. He is such a wild card. And I just, you know, he is like one of just like the most entertaining. His commentary just like bam, 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 does not stop. So we are going to go and we're going to jump into Eric's. Let me make sure I got it spelled right. Yes, I got it spelled right. We're going to go and we're going to crash Eric. If you want to come along, if you can come along, that would be awesome. When we get there, go into, look at the lower left-hand corner of the screen. You'll see his logo, and underneath it, it'll say live. Click that live and it'll say re-enter the stream, because that way he will get the numbers for his channel. Because it's just weird that, you know, it's like, well, it was explained to me that it helps stop bots. Because if you have to actively do something, then, you know, the bots don't know to do that. So we're going to just go over there and make sure. But we are going to go and crash Eric's stream. And we are going to, oh my God, it's got ads. I am so going to have to subscribe because it's like the ads are crazy. There we go. Okay. Come on. Ad, finish up. Oh, well, we're going to go ahead and go. So for those of you who have to move on with your day, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining in. And as always, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. So have a good day. Learn something new. I'm proud of you and I love you. See you tomorrow morning at 9 for gaming. Bye.